if I didn't piss enough people off about the video I did earlier concerning Jared Moskowitz and his cowardice and his bootlicking of Donald Trump and Donald Trump's appointees to be Attorney General and the UN ambassador, you might, those that I'm speaking to actually might not be here because they probably already left. They're angry that I might criticize a Democrat. Well, I'm going to do it again, and this time the President of the United States of America. You can't say Donald Trump is a danger, an existential threat to American democracy, a fascist, and then sit down with him in the Oval Office, glad hand with him, look at the paintings like your old pals. Nope, that's not how it works. Donald Trump attempted to end democracy in the United States. He lost the election in 2020, refused to concede, entered into a conspiracy, devised a criminal scheme to overturn the results of that election to stay in power. And when that didn't work, he incited a violent mob of insurrectionists to attack the United States Capitol. He refused to go to the inauguration. He refused to take part in the peaceful transition of power. And so when it comes time to host him in the building he's already lived in, it's not like he needs the lay of the land. What do Democrats do? They sit fucking down with the fascist and act like everything's okay. This is why we lose. This is weakness. This is a yearning for the boot of fascism on our necks. And look, there's going to be criticism, and that's fine. That's fine. There are other ways this could have been done. One, you just don't have to do the meeting. You don't have to meet. Melania Trump didn't think it was important enough to show up. Jill Biden didn't have to meet with the fascist, with the man who attempted to steal the presidency from the rightful winner of our democratic election in 2020. Like, what's the inauguration going to look like? Same thing as it did in 2016? In 2017 on January 20th? Is that what it's going to look like? It's certainly not going to look like it did in 2020 when the outgoing president refused to show up. Why should they not be given the same exact treatment? There's no law, there's no constitutional mandate to show up. Why are we going to welcome fascism in? An endorsement of what Donald Trump will do to this country. The American people have spoken. All right, great. You don't have to be there for it. Here, going a little late here is video of them glad-handing around. And then at the end, the chef's kiss of just jackassery is when the press, or the White House staffers start throwing the press out of the room in the same exact aggressive manner that Donald Trump's people used to do, screaming and wailing and yelling and forcing them out. You were here at our behest. You did our bidding. You provided us the pictures we needed. Now go away. With Joe Biden grinning like a moron, sitting next to another idiot. A dangerous, damaging influence on our populace, on our government, on the history of the country. Like old pals. Watch this.
Well, Mr. President-elect and former President,
thank you.
Donald, congratulations.
Thank you.
And looking forward to having like we said, smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So
good.
Welcome
Thank you
back.
very much. And thank you very much. And politics is tough. And it's, in many cases, not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate it very much. A transition that's so smooth, it'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate that, Jim.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
congratulations? Looking forward to a smooth transition? Welcome back? Politics is tough and in many cases not a nice world, but it is a nice world today. I appreciate it very much. I bet you do. So look, how should have this gone down? Well, I don't think it should have happened. It signals that all of the alarm bell ringing that was absolutely valid and real about the dangers Donald Trump poses, about Project 2025, about Matt Gaetz being the Attorney General and Tulsi Gabbard being the Director of National Intelligence, Elise Stefanik being the UN Ambassador, Ratcliffe being whatever he's going to be, CIA Director, Russian propaganda operators being the Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller being Deputy Chief of Staff of Domestic Policy or whatever. This is not something you welcome in. We're looking forward to a smooth transition. No, I'm not joking. Serious. Well, apparently you were joking when you talked about Donald Trump and MAGA world being semi-fascist like you did a couple years ago. Apparently you were joking. Apparently you don't think it's a big deal. You don't find Donald Trump to be dangerous and an existential threat to the democracy of the country. Or you also are a coward who doesn't have the mettle for the fight. I can hear YouTube videos clicking off all across the world right now. Anger at me. How dare you criticize the Democratic president? If I'm not going to do it, who's going to do it? When something so egregious gets done, who's going to be there to criticize? You can't look for Jared Moskowitz. He's too busy lapping at the boots of Matt Gaetz and Donald Trump and Elise Stefanik. Certainly can't leave it to Joe Biden. I don't know if he's just diminished or what. Too beholden to tradition. The guy who refused to pack the court, to end the tyranny of Donald Trump's fascism in the court. Refused to back ending the filibuster. Things I've criticized, but I'm amping up the criticism now. This is weakness. This will be our demise if this is how we're going to answer fascism in the next 4 years. This is it. When you see Charlie Kirk at the Democratic National Convention and you shake his hand rather than go with what you've been saying, yeah, I'm talking about Hassan Piker, rather than be the guy you claim to be where you got to punch a Nazi in the face. Oh, hey, Chuck, how you doing, Charlie Kirk? Good to see you. That's how we lose. When I say we're in this in a fight, it's not metaphorical. I'm not using flowery language. This is going to be a fight. And if this is the example that gets set, I don't have high hopes. How am I wrong? Again, I welcome you to convince me otherwise. And I'm open to changing my mind, as always. You can comment below. The voicemail line is open, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, as always, daily at dollemore.com. This was the second most disheartening thing that's happened in the last few days. First, obviously, being Donald Trump's win. This is second, and it's not close. It's not there were some other things that could have been second. This is it. Very much depresses me, very much bums me out. Renders me not hopeless, but more hopeless adjacent than I thought I would be. And it came at the hands of Joe Biden. If you appreciate what I do, maybe not always what I say, but the fact that I'm willing to say what I believe, please consider supporting this work. Click the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month. Go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Follow me on social media. I'm on Blue Sky and Threads. Those are the most readily available messaging, communication elements on social media, but I'm also on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook at Dollemore. Love to see you. Be genuine. It's an expectation, and take care of one another.